I don't know why this always does this. Every time that I do my first stream, it'll upload only for that first stream for a couple of seconds. Really have no idea why. It's so annoying. Not gonna lie, that thing is annoying as hell. Alright. Let's get to it. Ain't nothing but to do it. Ooh.
Not gonna lie, that thing's annoying as hell.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Don't forget to drop a like, to drop a comment, and subscribe. Ooh, drop a like, yeah. Ooh, drop a like, yeah. Drop a like, yeah. I know the beat's not that loud. Here, let me turn it up a little bit. I think that's good enough. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Grand Rising, everybody. It's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my intraday / day trade analysis setups, whatever you want to call it. I'm terrible at making names for my analysis. But yeah, let's go ahead and get things started. So, on Sunday, with my analysis, I don't know why I didn't just draw this fib out for the dollar. I had adjusted it and I had shown those in like next wave. I'm like, oh, I don't know why I didn't just show this. But yeah, as of right now, from this low to this high, price is still respecting this buy box, rejecting off of the 78.6, which also lines up with this rising wedge line right here, this uptrend line, if you will. And price is looking like it's rejecting and holding over here. Now, it could just be doing something like a bear flag, no cap. But if it doesn't, then I'm looking for this to actually like pop off very shortly and move accordingly to how I had it before, you know? I mean, it's not really looking that much bear flag-ish. But, you know, if price comes up here and it holds, then just know that it most likely is going to come back down to like 92.120 off of this bear flag. You know that it's forming. I want to see if this bear flag is going to hold or not, but I do want to see price go bullish. I'm not really looking for this bear flag to play out, like, right? That's what I'm seeing. If it was like let's say for instance, if it was a falling wedge, then yeah, I'd probably be more interested in trying to trade it. But you know, the opportunity to try to have gone into this trade, I think it's past. Although I feel like this was a 4 o'clock wick. Oh, this was at 1. Oh, well, you look at that, because the 4 o'clock one was right here. So this happened in real life market conditions yesterday, apparently, right? And so from this low to this high, just price coming down here, like again, because this is just what I'm looking at on the charts and I'm seeing it, and I'm like just looking at the price action, right? Like price did come over here and hit all these fibs, if this is accurate, you know, like if this happened at 1 o'clock, I wouldn't think that it's not accurate, and it came back down one more time after this long wick and then pushed to the upside. I mean, if you would have measured either of these moves from this low to this high, or from this low from that low, hold on, what am I trying to do here? Okay, so from this low, from this high to this low, price did come and retrace. So, you know, like you could have caught off that 61.8 or something like that. Or, you know, just buying off of when price came close to this uptrend line, if you will. But I am still looking bullish on the DXY. I still want it to continue going bullish. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. I still have the same outlook towards it. There's not really a setup that I'm here looking for until I see this make higher highs and then a retracement. And then I'll look for another buy in that type of scenario, right? I mean, it is still in this buy box for a swing type of play. So if you're looking for buys, then you could get into a buy. It's just that the entry point for me personally isn't the greatest. Just going over to the DXY on the arbitrage daily time frame, it did call for a sell, but it's been holding at this mean line right here. So, and just like I said on Monday, 1 or 2 things I feel like on arbitrage could happen. For this sell that's showing up right here, it could drop down to like 91.381 and then go bullish, or it could hold literally at this mean line and then go bullish. That's what I'm looking for personally. Weekly time frame, just wanted to show what it looks like, just in case those who want to see what it looks like, you know, like just drop down to the RSI line, push back up. It wouldn't surprise me necessarily, right? 4-hour time frame is setting up for a potential buy on the DXY though. 4-hour time frame is starting to set up. Once I like seeing that 4-hour turnaround, especially when it's setting up like this, because then I'm like, okay, maybe this down push to 91.530 isn't going to happen, which I don't want it to necessarily, but that's what I'm going to be watching for if it does play out, right? Yeah, this buy, it played out-ish, because although it called for a sell right here, but again, when there's a consolidated market on whatever time frame on arbitrage, you guys know I don't like to even like look at it that much, for those who watch me often. So that being said, gonna go on over to Euro USD. And same thing with Euro USD, as I mentioned with the DXY when I first started the analysis. I was like, I don't know why I didn't just grab the high from here and the low, the retracement, sell box. Everything looks like it's lining up. 78.6 got rejected, and it's looked like it's holding. So yeah, I'm still in this sell. I'm still in this sell right here. I'm still in this same sell. I am currently still in this how many pip drawdown. And like that 40 pip drawdown. Yeah, I'm still in 40 pip drawdown. What is this for? Oh, that's just for a trade out about it too. So yeah, I'm still in this trade right here. Not really tripping about it. And even like getting a position back up here at this 71%, it wouldn't be terrible if price did that, you know? I'm going over to the 1-hour time frame. So that wick, that big wick that was popping up on the DXY, I'm not seeing it here on Euro USD, right? So that's why I'm like, I don't know if that's like, if it's real or not. But you know, just from this high to this low, if I were to try to get into a trade, although this wasn't an impulsive move, the volume right here picked up and the volume surpassed like a lot of the other volume. So I want to see how if price comes back up to 1.18932, if this will be a play for me, right? Just been doing a whole, like, been falling, consolidating, falling. So I want to see what this is probably, if this is probably going to end up happening for a downward push, you know? That would be fire for me. So set that alert. Alright, so now that we have that set up, again, I just want to see the retracement, and I want to still see price in this sell box. Even if it comes up to like 1.18867, I'll still get in, right? But I mean, my stop loss, I think I'd probably put it above these highs, so like 1.19166. And you know, let the trade play out, let the thing do its thing. That's another like a second entry. I was looking for second entry points on Euro USD, so if I get this retracement, that would be my second entry right there. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stay in my sell that I'm in, you know. All right, it's going over actually to arbitrage real quick. 1 hour time frame consolidating. Glad I don't like consolidating on certain time frames, or on all these time frames. 4 hour time frame is setting up for a buy, but it's not quite there yet. I mean, for a sell, but it's not quite there yet. And daily time frame, just like the DXY, it's rejecting off of the mean line, right? And so worst case scenario, like I mentioned, price can come up here at 1.19897 and then start to look to push to the downside. Because on the weekly time frame, just like with the DXY, Euro USD is doing the inverse and calling a sell, but it still hasn't retraced and hit this RSI line. So gonna wait and see what happens, but I do like the potential sell from where price is currently at, or like in the area where price is currently at. I would just rather prefer 1.18932 for an entry rather than trying to get in at this market at these prices. Now the difference, what the heck? That was weird. But yeah, the difference in pricing from where price is currently at right now to where my entry would be at, it's like 25 pips. I'm not trying to like, you know, not get into a trade and then be 25 pips in drawdown. Like, I'm already at 40 pips in drawdown in my current trade as is. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for that and see what plays out. Going over to AUD USD, things are playing out like I had hoped. Getting that retracement playing, so that must mean that GA is playing out with that buy. I'm still, like I said, I'm still watching it to see if AUD USD is gonna go bullish, because again, this looks like a liquidity grab to the upside for me. I think I had drawn out the fib that I was like, okay, the price could push down from right here. I guess not. That's deleted. That's deleted. Let me see what this is talking about. Yeah, it sounds about right. Okay. So yeah, overall, let me get this fib right here because I couldn't find the one I was looking for. From that high of 0.75983 to the low of 0.71015, or 0.71050, sorry. Prices came up to the 71%, rejected off of the 71% right here. That's the reason why I'm like, you know what? Right here, it seems like a place where price could push to the downside. It has broken multiple lower highs, so I do expect a trend change here. But I do expect price to fall and, like I said, come back down to 0.72100 area and then keep pushing to the upside. That's what I'm really watching for on AUD USD. I'm not going to try to get into the sell. And so yeah, we'll see what happens here. But I expect this to continue falling to the downside. If I would have wanted to get into this trade, I think my trade opportunity has already passed me. It would have been off of this. So from this high to this low, just like how with Euro USD, what I'm trying to see right now, that's what I would have gone into with AUD USD, right? From this low. Price almost came down. I mean, price almost got to the 61.8. It acted like it faked out, but then it literally left a wick all the way to the 78.6 and then dropped immediately. Like, this would have been a sniper if I was paying attention to it, right? At the 78.6 or the 71%, that would have been a sniper move. Barely any type of drawdown off of the 78.6. So anyways, that move is already played out, but I mean, if I were to wait for a move, if I were really to wait for a move for AUD USD, I would need it to come back up. Honestly, come back up to 0.74466 or 0.7523. If I don't get that, then I'm not gonna try to play this. So create. The play has already been made from this high to this low. So now I gotta wait for this from this high to this low to see if I'm gonna continue trading it, right? Weekly time frame up over here, 0.7600. If price rejects from this RSI line, then continue falling. That'd be kind of solid. And like I said, I'm kind of looking for the buys here. Like, I'm waiting for the retracement to the RSI line, although I would want a little deeper, and then a push to the upside, right? So once we get that, then we all solid, we all janky. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go to the lower time frames. I'm tripping. I'm already knowing the 1 hour is very bearish. The 4 hour, however, sell is setting up on the 4 hour, but it's not quite there yet, you know. So I'm gonna wait for that 4 hour play. 1 hour played out nicely. 1 hour played out really nicely. I call for the sell. Although I would have got stopped out for sure right here if I would have tried to play this. I'm not even gonna cap. I would have got stopped out, and then price would have dropped, and I would have been mad. So there it is there with AUD USD. Definitely want the retracement before I sell. I don't know why that's still like that. Alright, UCHF. Alright, UCHF still doing this, consolidating. I'm not really gonna look at this too hard. Again, if price comes back down here, I would expect it to go bullish until I get a breakout on either side. I personally would rather prefer a breakout to the upside than to the downside, but that's just my opinion. But it's in consolidating markets, and I'm not going to try to play try to play it, especially if it's in the middle of the range. I'm not gonna try to play this out. So, again, I'm just waiting for whatever breakout it does first. That's what I'll play off of the pullback and then get in it. Either way, whatever one goes, it goes for, honestly. 1 hour time frame, get this out of here. 4 hour time frame, it looks terrible for me. Daily time frame looks pretty bad, you know. So that's why I'm just like, I'm not even trading any. I'm not going to trade off of any of these. The only thing that looks remotely good is the weekly for the bullish move to the upside. That's what looks good to me, because it's right where the RSI line is at. If price does end up dropping any lower though, I don't think it'll continue buying. So overall, UCHF, it's consolidating. I would wait for the breakout, but hey, if you want to play in the middle of the range, go for it. But that's just not my style of trading. I'd rather want to see that bullish move than the bearish move, but it's just consolidating markets. It's a consolidating market. All right, S&P 500, same jazz. Like, if it's going to keep consolidating right here, I would want it to push to the downside for me to try to get into a trade. You know, I'm not going to just try to get in. Like, price did come up to these equal highs and then ended up falling, which I'm sure people tried to sell at. So, yeah, I'm just not a fan of these indices. I feel like it's going to fall. It might come up to like 45444.5 and then end up falling or something like that. But nonetheless, I would need the retracement before I get into any type of buy, regardless. And same thing with the with Dow Jones. I don't talk about these indices too much because they're not a good look for me personally. I don't like how they look. I'd rather trade S&P. Or with this, I'd rather just wait for like the buy stop opportunity, quite honestly. So, who's snapping me at 6:30? That's interesting. I wouldn't expect her to be awake with this early. It's my daughter. So yeah, just going over to USDMXN. Like, these indices, going on arbitrage, trying to trade them. Could be beneficial every once in a while, but not always. Like, prices is consolidating. Y'all know how I am about consolidating markets on arbitrage. 1 hour time frame is just, you see, calling for sells right there, calling for buys right here, calling for buy. I would never get into these sells or buys because it's consolidating markets. That's why I'm just like, All right, tacos. Yeah, I already talked about tacos quite enough. I feel like they're still going to make that downward push. Let me see. Actually, I might be able to find the trade setup here. Let me go to the lower time frame, scooch in. Nah, I wouldn't try to trade. I mean, lower high, lower low. It's already rejected off of there. I would try to sell right here, but that's about it. Nothing really too crazy else for me on USDMXN. I just feel like it's going to keep pushing to the downside, and I don't want to try to get into a trade. I do like how it's holding at this zone, but I mean, look how many other times it came to this zone, you know? I feel like it's just going to end up falling. So, just going to leave it alone. Like, my analysis still stands from what it's been at for me, you know? Alright, let's take a look at gold. If I'm going a little too fast, I'm sorry, quite honestly. 1847. I still wanted to see that, but price just never got up there. It came to the equal highs. I'm surprised it actually held at these equal highs. But it did bounce off of the 61.8 fib, so I can't be surprised at the same time, you know. Would really want 1847 to get hit, but it doesn't look like that's what price is gonna do, you know. So if it doesn't, it doesn't. 4 hour time frame definitely looks like it's not gonna do that though. Like, it looks like price is gonna fall. It could hold over here at these equal lows at 1809 or between 1809 and 1802, but it looks like price is just gonna keep falling off of the 61.8. I can't be mad at it, because that's just like the setup. But I'd rather have 1847 get hit and then a fall. Let me see what we have here. It could still definitely get up there, but that's what I would have to wait for. You know, this 1 hour sell played out perfectly. Oh my goodness. Like, it doesn't get any better than this when it comes to gold sells. That played out too perfect on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour is starting to set up for a buy. I mean, at this point, I would just have to wait for the retracement and then a continuation on the 4 hour daily time frame. I mean, off the dailies, it looks like it might be rejecting off of this mean line, and then it might continue up. So that 1847, I'm still watching for it. Definitely still watching for 1847. I don't have any lost hope on it. Still waiting for it to play out. Oh my goodness, my phone is going off, dude. Let me turn off my. Let me put this thing on do not disturb. Hold on. There we go. So yeah. Alright, Bitcoin to the moon. I'm not talking about this too much because I've said the same thing over and over and over again. 54K, 55K, that's what I'm watching for to see if price will stop. Doesn't look like price is gonna stop here, but I'm just saying that I have to still talk about the supply zone. I can't be out here just saying, oh, I'm a moon boy, like price to the moon. But yeah, it does look solid, like price might continue going to the upside, quite honestly, in my opinion. Price, I do think that price is going to come up to 55K. I would just be patient on it though. Like, you see the price action right here. The volume right here is higher than most of these other volumes, so that's something interesting you want to watch out for as well, although it's not as high as here back in June when price was really about to start going janky right here, you know. But anyways, I want to see 54, 55K before I start to have any type of feelings for sells, you know, on Bitcoin or anything like that. And, you know, on the arbitrage, I'm pretty sure it's not really giving any type of like trades on the 4 hour. The 1 hour probably called for a sell. Yeah, it just called one right now, or it's about to call one in 23 minutes. But I wouldn't try to get into that, you know. It's just not for me personally. Right here, Bitcoin US dollar, like I mentioned, on the 4 hour, this could be a place where it could just bounce up to the upside. And even check this out. Just going on to the 30-minute time frame. From this bearish move right here, from when price really started to take off, from that low to this high, price could just reject off of 50,000 or like in the 50,000 area and then continue going bullish up to 55K. So I probably might play something like this morning, to be quite honest, on Bitcoin. Hit that 50,400 area and then take it to the upside. Anything that's below, like let's say 49,100 would be my stop loss. Like 49,100, that's a sweet stop loss for me. And you know, that's just for a short-term trade. You know, I feel the same way with Ripple. It made that bullish move, hit $1.41. I would try to buy that, and I would put my stop loss like $1.22 and take it to the upside where $1.50, that's my target. And Ethereum, just let Ethereum keep mooning, man. Like, I feel like it might hold at these equal lows. I think that might be a stop out, and then it just keeps going to the upside, you know? So there's that. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Oops. Meant to mute myself. All right, my bad, y'all. I had to use the restroom real quick. All right, but yeah, Ethereum. Like I said, Ethereum, if it holds at these equal lows, I feel like this is gonna keep going to the upside as well. But let's see what happens. Like, right? Like, I just feel like this was a stop button. Now price is gonna keep going to the upside. But that push, it looks very hard. So just be careful with it. I rather prefer Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple for a possible like intraday buy, you know. But I am bullish on these cryptos for them to continue going a little more bullish, right? All right, so GPUSD, GU was perfect. Like I was talking about, oh, I'm getting into this market as soon as the market's open, and I got in right here at 1.38623. If I would have seen these prices at on Friday, I would have tried to get in them, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get into the market once it opens. So I'm taking price to the downside. Currently up about, like, what is that, like 80 pips, 71 pips. So 71 pips in profit, but nothing too crazy because I'm risking 146 pips, so I still need like about half more pips to go in my favor before I move my stop loss to break even. And the same thing as the other pairs, what I would look for is the retracement of wherever price stops at, and then that's where I will get into another sell. But other than that, like I mentioned on Sunday, this was a swing trade that I was getting into. Not really interested in any buys at this time for GU at all. Like I was saying, like I want to see the GPs fall, so I'm glad that GU is moving accordingly. Even on arbitrage, this sell is from the weekly time frame, and it's been playing out nicely. Still wanted to continue going to the downside naturally. 4-hour time frame. Oops. Let me actually remove this out the way. 4-hour time frame. I mean, it's about to call for a sell, so if anything, I would just wait for a retracement on the 4-hour. And then a continuation to the downside. But other than that, there's no play on GU. I'm just gonna keep playing off of the swing trade idea that I had mentioned on Sunday. So yeah, just looks like things are playing out nicely. Let's see what goes on with GU, but the play was given. All right, GA. From this buy box, I had mentioned that I wanted to see price go bullish, and then possibly push to the downside if it's gonna keep going bearish, right? If it is. But GA, I'm more bullish on it than I am bearish. I had mentioned, yo, if you want to get into the sell down here, the buy down here, you can, because I was feeling the bulls, and you know, that's what's playing out right now. Even if you would have just been like, okay, take it from that, from this high. No, actually, it's right here. It's from this low to this high, the retracement, continuation to the upside for reals. It came to the 78.6 and the 71%, rejected it off of it nicely. I expect price to keep going to the upside. Just like with AUD USD, I expect price to keep going to the downside. And so, yeah, the same thing with over here on arbitrage. Like, yeah, this is calling for a sell on the daily, but I would still need that retracement for a continuation to the downside, which matches up with my technical analysis. So I'm still watching and seeing what GA is gonna do. But however, I do want this price to come up here. Maybe not by the end of the week, maybe by the middle of next week. We'll see. GBP JPY. I had mentioned that I wanted to get the sell off at 152.440, and I kept saying that I'm probably not even gonna get it, and I guess I just spoke it into existence. I didn't get that. My entry at 71% would have been more than fine. But you know, it just happens sometimes. You know, you can't win them all, or you can't try to get super snipers. Like I missed by how many pips? Because my sell limit definitely didn't activate. By 35 pips, yeah, that's a lot of pips right there. But you know, price still continuing to the downside, and I expect it to make lower lows unfortunately, I don't have any kind of trade except for wherever price decides to stop at. The retracement is where I would try to get into the sell. So like from right here, retracement up to 152.040. That might be where I would try to get into a possible sell, but it would be for a swing. Well, no, not even for a swing. It'd be for intraday, but we would have to see what happens. I like the way how the daily time frame is. The daily candlestick right here is closing. If it closes like that with that wick to the upside, then I'm definitely going to maintain my bearish bias on a long-term basis. 4-hour time frame, this looks better to me than GBP USD, quite honestly, for a sell. So I would just, like, once it's called for a sell, the retracement, then a continuation. But yeah, I'm definitely liking the sells on these GBP pairs. Let's even go look at the BXY real quick, just because I had looked at that on Sunday. So yeah, it looks like it might be rejecting off of this zone that I had drew out. And, you know, let's see what gap it's going to open with, because these don't start showing prices until 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's another reason why I don't look at the BXY, AXY, JXY, and all that stuff, because they only open at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that's I'm not gonna wait to see what the pricing is. But I would not be surprised if this came and opened up like around 138.16. I wouldn't be surprised at all. 10 more minutes until that happens, so we will take a look at that. Or I will take a look at it like after this analysis, like when I'm off of here. But yeah, GBP JPY, the play is gone. Like I said, I would rather wait for the retracement before trying to get into the sell. But if you're trying to buy, I mean, I wouldn't personally, but this look like a cool retracement. It's at the 78.6. It's holding as well at this. This is at a resistance right now. If you were to just draw a zone right there, you can see it's at a resistance. It looks like it's gonna keep falling, so that's why I'm like, I wouldn't try to buy it. I mean, you can, but it's just not advisable. You know, it looks like this is just making lower lows. So that's on GBP JPY. That 4-hour candlestick looks dangerous. All right, and Euro GBP never got the retracement, but I am seeing that it's pushing to the upside, which, you know, it's all good. I wanted this deep retracement and never gave it to me. It's all good though, because if EG is going bullish, that means the GBPs are definitely going to go bearish, which is ultimately what I wanted. So it's okay, you know. Definitely want to watch where price is currently at though, because as you can see, it's at a place where it's rejected off of before multiple times. And if I were to draw the fib from this high to this low, then a sell could definitely still occur. It's at the 71%, right? So definitely watching and seeing what EG is going to do, but I definitely am not trying to sell EG long term, because if I'm selling EG long term, then I would need to be buying the GBPs long term, where I'm trying to look for the inverse. I'm trying to look for EG to continue its bullish move, and I want GJ and GU to go bearish, right? So daily time frame, it's been called for this buy. It played out, but I would not have gone into that personally. Weekly time frame is still setting up, but these next 2-3 weeks might be shifting in EG's favor for that bull run, which, you know, like I said, with GJ and GU, the weekly on GJ isn't there yet, but the weekly on GU definitely is calling for that sell. So let's see what happens with EG. You know, I'm definitely bullish on it, but I do know that right here where it's at, it could be a potential, like, it could be like, oh, I'm having struggles going bullish, but I'm not going to try to get into a sell, you know. So with that said, is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at? I know my analysis, they be short and everything like that. It's because I'm just going through less trades as I used to. Like, I've taken out Euro AUD, Euro NCD, I used to look at UCAD sometimes. I don't look at that anymore. So those are the 3 pairs, 15 minutes. Because I think I spend like 3 to 5 minutes per pair on average. Like that's 15 whole minutes of content that is not being recorded because I don't look at those pairs as often, you know. But any other things that anybody wants me to look at? If not, then all right, everybody. That's it for me. I'm gonna see what these cryptos are looking like this morning. Off of that 78.6. Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and take off. If you do have any questions, you go ahead and message me on Telegram at ABK25 or Instagram, same thing, at ABK25. Well, with that being said, I'm out of here, y'all. Later.